Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is genuinely so good to have you here with us today.
It really is.
I hope you're feeling well, focused, energized, and maybe ready for a real aha moment.
Wow. Ready is an understatement. I am so wired up for this one. This deep dive is honestly, I think, one of the most practical we've ever done.
I agree.
I think it's going to permanently change how a lot of you view fluency.
Yes, because we hear this frustration all the time. People say, and maybe this is you listening right now, they say, I know all the words, I can pass a written test.
I read articles perfectly fine.
Exactly. But when I try to speak, my mouth just feels slow.
Yeah.
Or clumsy or just stuck.
It's the ultimate disconnect, isn't it? Your brain is fast, you've got the vocabulary, the grammar engine is running, but the delivery system, your mouth, it's just lagging behind, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like you have a high-speed internet connection, but you're trying to download it all through a really old, slow cable.
Oh, that is the perfect analogy. And if you recognize that feeling of being slow or stuck or just unclear when you try to speak,
Then this deep dive is for you.
it really is.
Because today we are sharing the secret. Speaking English, it's not just a mental thing. It's not just about grammar in your head.
No.
It's physical exercise. It's about training your mouth, your lips, and your tongue.
Exactly. We're going to treat speaking as a physical skill, one that needs muscle memory and coordination and even a warm-up. And we'll walk you through how to set up this really efficient, low-stress daily routine.
And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes a day.
10 to 15 minutes.
That's the beauty of it. It's all about consistency, not these huge, long study sessions. So efficient.
It is. Now, before we jump into the details of that training plan, we do have a quick favor to ask you.
Just a tiny one.
If this deep dive, resonates with you, if you feel that stuck feeling we're talking about, please just take a moment to click that like button or subscribe, or even better, share this deep dive.
Yes, and you know who to share it with. Share it with that friend who always says they have no time to practice.
The busy friend.
The one who's always swamped with work. Because these tips, they are tailor-made for that person. They deliver huge results in these tiny pockets of time.
Right. Or maybe that friend who, tends to mumble a little bit when they speak English. We're going to help them open up and really project those sounds.
Let's get into it. The speaking muscles.
Okay, so let's unpack this core idea.
Yeah.
Speaking is physical exercise. The thing is, your lips, your tongue, your jaw, they aren't just passive. They're actually complex muscle groups.
The articulators.
The articulators, exactly.
Wow.
And they're all involved in producing speech.
That's so critical. I mean, when we learn our first language, right, as kids, we train those muscles for years to make very specific shapes and movements.
Yes.
And those movements become automatic. It's motor memory. You don't even think about it.
And that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those automatic movements from your first language, a lot of the time, they are completely wrong for English.
Totally wrong. English needs different positions. Maybe the tongue has to go further back or the lips need to round a lot more. So if your muscles aren't trained for this new job, they're going to move slowly. Or they'll make the wrong shape. Or they just won't move enough. And that's where the mumbling comes from.
It really is. We have to create a whole new set of physical habits. New motor memory, just for English, is why learners sometimes say they feel awkward or that their mouth actually feels tired when they try a new sound.
Precisely. It's like learning a new sport. Think about someone playing tennis for the first time. They get the idea of hitting the ball over the net.
Of course.
But their muscles are stiff, their coordination is off, the whole movement just feels unnatural and slow.
You can read every book about tennis, but until you physically swing that racket, 100 times,
1,000 times.
your body just won't remember how to do it.
I see. So in the same way, if you want clear, fast, smooth English, you have to repeat the physical movement of the English sounds over and over again. Your tongue and lips are doing tiny little push-ups every time you speak.
That's a great way to put it. And the real aha moment for me was the tongue twister. We all know the classic one, right? She sells seashells by the seashore.
Oh, yeah. A very famous sentence. That one forces your tongue to move so fast, from the shoe sound way in the back to the ez sound right at the front.
And when you try to say it quickly for the first time, your tongue just gets tangled. It feels confused, maybe even tired after a few tries.
That's physical proof right there.
It is. It shows your muscles need conditioning.
You can literally feel the difficulty. It proves the point. English fluency isn't just mental, it is motor skill training.
Okay, so we've established this is physical. Now, let's look at the common problems this kind of training can fix. Our sources listed about 5 big ones.
Yeah, let's dive into those because when you understand the cause, the solution makes so much more sense. The first one is, well, speaking too slowly. Those long, awkward pauses.
Right, which usually comes from the second problem, translating everything in your mind first. The second your brain starts translating, the physical part of speaking it freezes. The flow stops.
And that leads straight to a psychological issue, the third one,
Right.
fear of mistakes. And when you're afraid, what happens to your body? You tense up, right?
You clench.
Your mouth, your jaw.
Yeah.
They don't move fully.
And that tension, that lack of movement, that directly causes problem number 4, mumbling, or just unclear sounds.
Yes.
If you don't use enough energy, if you don't open your mouth enough, the words just sound flat, muted.
And this is where we need to talk about projection. Speaking English isn't whispering. It needs air support from your diaphragm, kind of like a singer,
Right.
to push the sound forward. If you mumble, you're practicing lazy projection. Your speaking muscles aren't getting a full workout.
Use your air. That's such a key piece of advice.
It is. And the last problem, number 5, is a robotic rhythm. English has this music to it. It's made of stressed words and, this is so important, unstressed words.
Yeah.
If you say every single word with the same force, which is a habit from a lot of other languages, you just sound flat, robotic.
We're definitely coming back to those unstressed words. Learning to shorten them is critical. But the good news is we can fix all of this. The slowness, the fear, the mumbling, the robot voice with physical training.
Exactly. So let's get into the 4 practical tips, the 4 steps in our daily workout. And we're going to start just like an athlete would with the warm-up.
I love this idea. It feels so simple, but so practical.
Okay, tip number 1. I call this the face gym prep. Because look, if you go to the gym and immediately try to lift the heaviest weight, what's going to happen?
You're going to injure yourself. Or at least feel very, very stiff the next day. You have to stretch first, prepare the muscles.
Exactly the same for your speaking muscles. Your mouth, lips, tongue, they need a warm-up before you start practicing or have a big conversation in English. It helps them move easily so you can speak faster and more clearly.
And what I love is how specific the warm-up is. It's not just say some words. It focuses on 3 key areas: your lips, your tongue, and your jaw.
Let's start with the lips and the English vowels. We're going to say A, E, I, O, U, but we have to exaggerate the shape. We're training the muscles for the right vowel placement.
Okay, so everyone listening, try this with us. First, A. You need a big, wide, vertical opening. Really stretch the jaw. A.
Yes, feel that stretch. Notice how much space that creates in your mouth. That space is key for those deep English sounds. Next up, E. For E, we want a huge, exaggerated smile. E.
E. I can feel that using the muscles on the sides of my face. That smile is what makes the long E sound so clear.
Then you've got I, a little more relaxed than the smile. The 3, and then a really important one, O. In many languages, O is kind of flat. English needs round lips. Push your lips forward like you're about to blow out a candle. Ooh.
Ooh, yes, that feeling of rounding the lips is so important for clarity.
And finally, U also needs that rounding. You just repeated A, E, I, O, U like that a few times is like resistance training for your face.
I can already feel it getting smoother after just a few times. The muscle memory is kicking in that fast.
After the lips, we move to the tongue, the superstar. The next warm-up is tongue flexibility. Just stick your tongue out and move it left, then right, up, then down.
I used to think this looked a bit silly, but I tried it this morning. Why is stretching the tongue so important?
Because English needs these incredibly fast, complex tongue movements, especially for groups of consonants like in the word strengths or crisp. If your tongue is stiff, your speech is going to sound chunky and slow. This exercise literally makes your tongue more agile.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Flexibility equals speed.
And finally, the jaw. This goes back to what we said about fear. When people get nervous, where do they hold all that tension?
Oh, and the shoulders, the neck, and definitely the jaw. We just clench up, and that stiffness stops your mouth from opening all the way.
Exactly. So the last part of the warm-up is jaw relaxation. Just open your mouth wide as you can without it hurting, and then slowly close it a few times until your jaw feels loose.
So by relaxing your jaw, you're not just helping your pronunciation. You're also helping with the anxiety of speaking English. It's a physical and a psychological benefit.
Lips, tongue, jaw. The face gym prep. 2 to 3 minutes and you're done. Now that we're warm, we can move on to the real work, focusing on the difficult sounds.
Tip number 2, sound sculpting. This is where we get a little technical and look at the actual physical mechanics of those sounds that, might not exist in your language.
Yeah.
We're teaching the mouth a brand new shape.
And the number one rule here is slow repetition. You have to start slow. Because if you try to go fast when your tongue shape is wrong, you're just practicing a bad habit faster.
Accuracy before speed.
Accuracy before speed. Let's start with the classic challenge, the teeth sound. Like in think or this. This sound is tricky because it's a fricative.
A fricative.
Yeah.
That means you're creating friction with the air.
Right.
You're blocking it a little bit, but not stopping it completely, like a T sound.
Exactly. And the physical position is key. Your tongue has to go slightly between your teeth. It should lightly touch the bottom of your top teeth.
If your tongue stays behind your teeth, you get a T or an S sound. Thank becomes tank or sank.
Right. Tank thank. You should be able to feel the air flowing over your tongue. That feeling is the sound.
Okay, next difficult sound. The American English R, like in read or run. If your first language has a rolled R, this one can feel so strange.
The physical goal is totally different. The English R is often called retroflex. Your tongue needs to curl slightly up and back, and this is the most important part. The tip of your tongue must not touch the roof of your mouth.
If it touches, you get that rolled sound. So for the English R, the tongue is kind of floating and curled back. Rud. The sound is shaped deep in the back of your mouth.
The energy comes from the back of the tongue, not the tip. This is a huge physical change, and it just takes consistent practice.
And the third one? The L sound, like in light versus the L in milk.
Ooh, this is a good one. For the clear or light L, like in light or love, the very tip of your tongue has to touch that little ridge just behind your upper front teeth.
A light, I can feel that light touch right there.
But for the dark L, which you find at the end of words like feel or milk, the back of your tongue does something different. It drops down a little bit.
So feel.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the tip touching at the front, but the back of my tongue feels heavier. It creates a deeper, darker sound. That's a really complex physical action.
It is. And sound sculpting isn't just for consonants. It's for vowels, too.
Ah, yes. The many, many English vowels.
Think about the difference between the short I in ship and the long key in sheep. On paper, it looks small. Physically, it's huge.
For ship, my lips are relaxed and my tongue's a bit lower, high.
E.
But for sheep, my lips have to stretch into that big smile we practiced and my tongue is higher.
E. If you don't practice that physical movement, your mouth will just make a sound somewhere in the middle and people might not understand you. Sound sculpting is about isolating these movements and repeating them slowly until your mouth just remembers.
That's a fantastic breakdown of the mechanics.
Yeah.
So once we have the individual sounds, how do we put them all together into fast, clear speech?
That brings us to tip number 3. This is the fun part. I call it the repetition workout or the speed challenge. This is where we stop thinking about single sounds and start training for flow using 2 tools, tongue twisters and useful voices.
Tongue twisters are my favorite. They feel like a little game, but they're also real muscle training.
They are an intense physical workout. They're designed to make you trip up, forcing your mouth to switch positions really, really fast, like she sells seashells by the seashore.
You find out very quickly where your tal is weak or slow.
Yep. The method is always the same. Say it slowly and clearly 3 times. Then try to go just a little bit faster each time. Repetition is what builds that muscle memory.
And it's great to use twisters that target your specific problem sounds. Like for the R and L, there's red lorry, yellow lorry.
Oh, that one is a nightmare for people who mix up R and L. It forces your tongue to switch from that curled R position to the frontal L position, back and forth. It's high-intensity training.
So spend a couple of minutes on twisters. Then we move to part B, which is training for real life. Useful phrases.
This is how we bridge the gap between sounds and actual conversation. We're training the mouth to say full, natural sentences. And this brings in the idea of connected speech.
Connected speech. We use that term a lot. What does it mean physically?
Physically, it's huge. When we talk fast, we don't say every word separately. We link them together, we simplify sounds, and we practice something called vowel reduction. This is what kills the robotic rhythm.
Vowel reduction. This is when those little unstressed words like a of to forget shortened to a very quick neutral sound.
That neutral sound is the famous schwa, the sound tone. It's the quickest, laziest sound in English. It takes almost no physical effort.
So the physical training is learning how to be lazy, but in the right way.
Precisely. If you say, I would like a cup of tea, you sound like a robot, you're working too hard. The training is to learn to say, I'd like a cup chef tea, where of becomes that schwa sound. Ree.
I love that. I use a metaphor of water flowing. If you say every word clearly, It's like dropping big rocks in a river. Stop, start, stop, start.
Yeah.
But when you use connected speech, it's like the water just flows smoothly over the rocks.
That is a perfect picture. So the physical training here is just repeating short, useful sentences until your mouth learns that smooth, flowing motion. Repeat things like, "How are you today?" Or, "Can you help me, please?"
Start slow, make sure you're reducing those little words, and then get faster. 5-10 phrases a day is more than enough to build that motor memory.
Fantastic. So we've warmed up, we've sculpted the sounds, we've gained speed and flow. Now, how do we check our progress?
Tip number 4, I call this one the echo technique. Check yourself, get confident. And this covers 2 linked activities: recording yourself and shadowing.
Okay, let's start with recording. Why is it so important to record our own voice, even if, makes us cringe a little bit to listen back?
Because what you think you sound like while you're speaking is, well, it's not very accurate. Your brain is busy thinking about what to say next. It doesn't have the energy to also check your pronunciation.
Right. You might feel like you made a perfect T sound. But when you listen back, you immediately hear it came out as a D or an S. Recording is your mirror. It shows you what the world actually hears.
The method is so simple. Use your phone, record yourself reading a few of your useful phrases, then listen carefully.
Don't just listen for big mistakes. Listen for the small stuff. Did you use enough projection? Was your rhythm flat? Did you use the schwa sound? Then you practice again to correct those specific things.
And the real confidence builder is when you compare your recording from day 1 to day 7, hearing your own voice get clearer and faster. That's the best motivation there is.
It truly is. Now, the second part of this is shadowing. This might be the most powerful tool of all for rhythm and intonation.
Shadowing. That's where you speak at almost the exact same time as a native speaker, like a shadow.
Exactly. The magic of shadowing is that it completely bypasses the translation part of your brain. You stop thinking about grammar rules and you just focus on the physical act of copying the sound, the speed, and the melody.
You are mimicking the music of English. And that's what gets rid of that robotic rhythm.
When you shadow a podcast or a TV show, you are physically forcing your mouth to copy the native speaker's stress patterns. You're training your muscles to make the right intonation curves that rise and fall in your voice that shows meaning and emotion.
And that connection between your ears and your mouth is what builds fluency so fast.
So those are the 4 pillars: the face gym prep, sound sculpting, the speed challenge, and the echo technique.
Now, before we put the whole plan together, let's just quickly revisit some of that technical vocabulary in our vocabulary corner.
Absolutely. Understanding these terms helps you know what to practice.
Okay, word number 1, mumbling.
Mumbling. That's speaking without moving your lips or tongue enough, so your words sound flat or hard to understand. For example, he was so nervous he started mumbling during the interview.
Number 2, projection.
Projection. That's the technique of using air from your core to push sound forward clearly. A sentence could be, "You need good projection to be heard in a large room."
Number 3, robotic rhythm.
Robotic rhythm. That's when you give equal stress to every word, which sounds unnatural in English. For example, shadowing helps eliminate a robotic rhythm.
Number 4, connected speech.
Connected speech. That's how words naturally blend together when we speak fast. Like, to sound fluent, you need to practice connected speech.
Number 5, vowel reduction.
Vowel reduction. This is making the vowel sounds in unstressed words weaker and faster, often turning them into a schwa sound. For instance, vowel reduction is key for a natural English rhythm.
Number 6, the schwa sound.
The schwa sound, that quick, lazy, neutral vowel sound. For example, the word about starts with a schwa sound.
Number 7, shadowing.
Shadowing. The technique of immediately repeating a native speaker to copy their speed and intonation. For example, I practice shadowing my favorite podcast for 10 minutes every day.
And finally, the most important word of all, consistency.
Consistency. Practicing regularly, even for a short time. For physical skills, consistency is so much more important than long, infrequent sessions.
That deepens the understanding so much. Okay, let's put it all together now into that simple, actionable plan for today.
Let's do it. We're calling this the 10-15-minute daily plan. The goal is pure efficiency.
And remember, 10 to 15 minutes, it's not a lot of time. You can find it maybe while you're waiting for the coffee to brew.
Okay, here's the structure. 2 to 3 minutes for each part. First, warm up your mouth. That's the face gym prep, the A-E-I-O-U, the tongue stretches, the jaw relaxation.
Second, practice difficult sounds. That sounds sculpting. Just pick 1 or 2 of your personal challenges, maybe the T sound or the difference between ship and sheep, and go slow.
Third, repeat a few tongue twisters. This is your speed challenge. Just 2 or 3 minutes to push your speed a little.
Fourth, practice 5 to 10 useful phrases. This is your flow training. Get your mouth used to saying full sentences, focusing on that connected speech.
And finally, record yourself or do some shadowing. That's the echo technique. Listen back to your own voice, check your rhythm, and then mimic a native speaker.
That's 5 really high-impact activities in just 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost impossible to say you don't have time for that.
Exactly. Now, what are the 3 big mistakes people need to avoid?
Okay, these are so important. Mistake number 1, don't speak too fast before your mouth is ready.
This is the death of accuracy. If you practice going fast with the wrong mouth shape, you're just teaching your muscles a bad habit. Start slow. Speed comes later.
Mistake number 2. Don't just memorize words in your head. You have to say them out loud with energy.
Yes, it's a physical skill. Reading words in your head gives your mouth zero training. The tongue stays lazy. You have to activate those muscles.
And mistake number 3, the psychological one. Don't give up too soon. Progress takes patience.
Physical changes take time. You won't sound perfect on day 1. But the difference between day 1 and day 30, if you are consistent, will be huge. You have to trust the process.
Start slow, practice out loud, and stay consistent.
Okay, quick recap of the 4 catchy names so they stick in your mind.
We started with the face gym prep, warming up your lips, tongue, and jaw.
Then we did sound sculpting, focusing on the exact physical position for your tricky sounds.
Third was the repetition workout, using tongue twisters for speed and useful phrases for flow.
And finally, the echo technique, recording yourself to find mistakes, and shadowing to copy the native melody.
If you follow those 4 steps, you're actively building the muscle memory you need for clear, fast speech.
And that leads us to our final message. Why should you do all this? What's the real payoff?
The ultimate payoff is confidence. When you know your mouth can actually make the sounds correctly, that confidence flows into every conversation you have. You stop hesitating. You just speak.
And the training helps you hear better, too. Your mouth and ears get trained together, so your brain starts to process English. Sounds much faster when you listen to other people.
Every little bit of practice counts.
Yeah.
10 minutes a day is enough to completely change your physical relationship with English.
So here's our challenge for you for the next 7 days. Commit to the 10-15-minute daily plan.
Pick 3 tongue twisters and 5 useful phrases that are, relevant to your life.
Practice them every single day. And here's the critical step. Record yourself on day 1, and then record yourself again on day 7.
Listen to those 2 recordings at the end of the week. We promise you will hear a real difference in your clarity and your speed.
And we have a question for you. We talked about the TH, the R, and the L sounds today. Which specific physical sound is your biggest challenge right now? Let us know in the comments.
We are really rooting for you to get unstuck and to feel that amazing moment when the words just flow. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
That's right. You didn't waste your time today. You invested it.
Be kind to yourself. Practice is progress, not perfection.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Keep practicing that schwa.